Society tells you a man needs many friends to be successful. But what if that's a lie? What if the key to unshakable confidence is found in solitude? In the next few minutes, you'll discover why having few or no friends can be your greatest strength. Are you ready to unlock a power most people never find? The illusion of social validation. Picture a crowded room, buzzing with laughter and chatter. Smiles flash, jokes fly, and everyone seems connected. But beneath the surface, a silent struggle unfolds. Is this really what security looks like? We're taught from a young age that popularity equals success and happiness. The more friends you have, the more fulfilled you must be. It's a belief so deeply ingrained, we rarely question it. But what if this pursuit of social validation is actually holding us back? The truth is, constantly seeking approval from others comes at a heavy cost. It's an exhausting cycle that never ends. You're always on, always performing, always worried about what others think. One moment you're riding high on a wave of likes and compliments. The next, you're crashing down because of a single negative comment or perceived slight. Maintaining a large social circle for validation is like running on a treadmill that never stops. You're expending so much energy, but are you really getting anywhere? Think about it. How many of those connections truly know the real you? How many would stand by your side in your darkest moments? And in today's world, social media has only amplified this need for external approval. We spend hours curating the perfect online persona, chasing likes and followers. Studies show the average person spends 2 to 3 hours daily on social platforms, desperately seeking acceptance. But this digital validation is fleeting. It leaves us feeling emptier than before, always craving the next hit of attention. What if there's another way? What if true security doesn't come from the number of friends you have, but from something deeper within? Imagine a confidence so unshakable, it doesn't waver based on others' opinions. A sense of self so strong, you don't need constant reassurance from the outside world. This isn't just a fantasy. It's possible to cultivate inner strength that's completely independent of social validation, to find a sense of worth that comes from knowing yourself, not from collecting acquaintances, to build a life where you're at peace, whether you're surrounded by people or completely alone. But how do you get there? How do you break free from the need for constant approval and find this elusive inner security? The answer might surprise you. It's not about learning to be more outgoing or mastering social skills. Instead, it's about embracing something many of us fear: solitude. The power of solitude. You've heard the word solitude and felt a shiver run down your spine. It's a concept that often fills us with dread, conjuring images of loneliness and isolation. But what if I told you that this fear is robbing you of your greatest source of strength? Imagine a man sitting alone, completely at peace. His face radiates calm confidence. What's his secret? It's not wealth, fame, or even a bustling social life. His power comes from within, cultivated in moments of quiet solitude. We've been conditioned to fear being alone. From childhood, we're taught that constant companionship is the key to happiness. Society reinforces this belief, pushing us to always be connected, always be socializing. But this fear of solitude is often rooted in a misunderstanding of what it truly means to be alone. Here's the truth. Solitude does not equal loneliness. Loneliness is a painful state of feeling disconnected and isolated. Solitude, on the other hand, is a conscious choice to spend time with yourself. It's an opportunity for growth, reflection, and self-discovery. Throughout history, great thinkers, leaders, and artists have found immense strength in solitude. They've used this time alone to confront their deepest thoughts, wrestle with complex ideas, and unlock their creativity. These moments of quiet introspection have led to world-changing insights and unshakable self-assurance. When you embrace solitude, you create space for powerful transformations. In the quiet, you can finally hear your own voice above the noise of others' expectations. You start to see yourself clearly, without the distorting lens of social comparisons. This self-reflection is the key to personal growth. Think about it. How often do you truly sit with your own thoughts? In solitude, you're forced to confront your fears, weaknesses, and insecurities. It's not always comfortable, but it's in facing these parts of yourself that true strength is forged. You learn to rely on your own judgment, to trust your instincts, and to find peace in your own company. As you spend more time in solitude, something remarkable happens. Your confidence grows, not from external validation, but from a deep understanding of who you are. You become like a mountain, unmoved by the winds of others' opinions, rooted firmly in self-knowledge. This inner security is unshakable because it doesn't depend on anyone else. You no longer need constant reassurance or approval. You can face life's challenges with a quiet strength, knowing that you have the resources within yourself to overcome them. But here's a question that might be nagging at you. Isn't human connection important for our well-being? Of course it is. The power of solitude doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world entirely. Instead, it's about finding the right balance and understanding that true connection with others and with yourself starts from a place of inner strength. Quality over quantity in relationships. We often measure our social success by the number of friends we have. But what if I told you that the most secure individuals often have the smallest social circles? It's a paradox that flies in the face of conventional wisdom, yet it holds a powerful truth about authentic connections and personal strength. Picture two scenarios. A person surrounded by 100 acquaintances, their phone constantly buzzing with shallow interactions. Now imagine someone with just 3 true friends, their relationships deep and meaningful. Who do you think is truly richer? The answer might surprise you. In a world that often equates popularity with success, the concept of a small, carefully chosen circle of connections can seem alien. But there's immense power in being selective about who you let into your inner world. It's not about being antisocial or pushing people away. It's about recognizing the value of quality over quantity in your relationships. Think about the difference between a shallow pond and a deep well. The pond might cover more ground, but it's the well that provides sustenance when you're truly thirsty. The same principle applies to our friendships. 100 surface-level connections can't match the depth and support of a few genuine relationships. What makes these authentic relationships so powerful? They're built on trust, mutual respect, and shared values. These are the friends who celebrate your successes without envy and stand by you during your darkest moments. They challenge you to grow, offering honest feedback when you need it most. In their presence, you feel seen, understood, and accepted for who you truly are. But here's the real magic. These selective social connections contribute immensely to your personal growth. When you surround yourself with a small circle of quality individuals, you create a nurturing environment for self-improvement. Their influence shapes your character, their wisdom enriches your perspective, and their support empowers you to take risks and pursue your dreams. So how does a small circle reinforce inner security? It's simple. When you know you have a few unshakable pillars in your life, you don't need the validation of the masses. You're no longer swayed by every passing opinion or trend. Instead, you develop a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're walking a meaningful path, supported by those who truly matter. These authentic relationships act as mirrors, reflecting and strengthening our self-worth. They remind us of our value when we forget, challenge us when we falter, and celebrate us when we soar. Through them, we learn to see ourselves more clearly and appreciate our own unique qualities. But here's the most powerful realization. Building unshakable confidence doesn't come from relying on others, even these close friends. It comes from within. These deep relationships simply create the fertile ground where your inner strength can flourish. They provide the support you need as you learn to stand firmly on your own 2 feet. As we conclude this reflection on the power of a small, carefully chosen circle, a question arises. How does one navigate a world that often misunderstands this choice? How do you stay true to your path when society pushes for constant connection and endless networking? Weathering external pressures. Society often paints a picture of success filled with constant companionship and endless social connections. But what if that image is fundamentally flawed? Let's challenge this assumption and uncover the hidden strength that comes from defining your own path, even when it means walking alone. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to conform. From a young age, we're bombarded with messages about how we should look, act, and live our lives. The pressure to fit in, to be popular, to have a bustling social calendar is relentless. It's as if society has decided that being alone is a fate worse than death. But here's the truth. This pressure to constantly seek companionship can rob us of our individuality and inner peace. Maintaining your sense of self in the face of these expectations is no easy task. It's like swimming against a powerful current, exhausting and sometimes overwhelming. You might find yourself questioning your choices, wondering if there's something wrong with you for not fitting the mold. But remember, the path of least resistance rarely leads to personal growth or true fulfillment. So, how do you develop the inner resilience to stand firm against these external judgments? It starts with self-awareness. Take time to really understand who you are, what you value, and what you want from life. This self-knowledge becomes your anchor, keeping you steady when the winds of public opinion blow strong. Next, practice setting and maintaining clear boundaries. This means learning to say no to invitations or opportunities that don't align with your values or goals. It means being selective about the company you keep and the influences you allow into your life. Remember, every yes to something that doesn't serve you is a no to your own growth and peace. As you continue on this path, you'll start to experience a profound sense of freedom. The need for constant validation falls away. You'll find yourself making choices based on your own desires and convictions, not because of what others expect. This is the true measure of inner security, the ability to stand alone, if necessary, secure in who you are and what you believe. But here's the most beautiful part. As you cultivate this inner strength, you become a beacon for others. Your quiet confidence and authenticity will draw people to you naturally. You'll form deeper, more meaningful connections with those who appreciate the real you. And you'll inspire others to find their own path, to break free from the shackles of societal expectations. As we conclude, let's consider the ultimate measure of a secure man. It's not found in the size of his social circle or his popularity. It's in his ability to weather life's storms with grace and integrity, standing firm in who he is. Source of strength. I challenge you to embrace solitude. Don't fear it. Welcome it as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Use this time to reflect, to understand your values, and to build a relationship with yourself. It's in these quiet moments that you'll find your greatest source of strength. Remember, your worth isn't measured by the size of your social circle or the number of likes on your posts. It's found in the depth of your character, the strength of your convictions, and the authenticity of your relationships. As you continue on this path of self-discovery and inner security, know that each step brings you closer to becoming the best version.